Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Rachel here from Ode to Fitness. So if you didn't see on my social media this week, my channel turned 1, so it had its first birthday. So for something a little bit different, I wanted to film a little bit of a Q&A. So I asked for some questions on social media and some lovely people have sent me some in. So I'm going to crack on straight away. They're all fitness based, so although you said you could ask me anything, everyone's asked me fitness based questions. So I'm going to get started with the first two that I would link together. So these were, what would you recommend to a complete gym newbie who doesn't necessarily want to lose weight, but possibly sort of build some muscle and tone up? And what would I recommend if you've got no confidence in the gym to even enter the gym? So I'd probably recommend the same sort of things for these two. First up, I would probably say try and get some professional help if you can. So that's whether you book on your gym's free induction. That'll give you a little bit of information on where everything is in the gym. You can get to know some of the staff, and they can give you maybe a little bit of a program, or they'll show you how to use different bits of equipment. So that's a really good place to start. Further on from that, if gyms don't offer it or it doesn't give you as much of the information as you would like, look into booking a PT session. So some PTs will do one-off sessions or maybe look to get a block to get you started. I mean, I know I am a personal trainer, so that's obviously something I'd recommend, but I definitely do recommend it, especially for beginners. I think it's a really good place to start. You can check your technique, you can make sure you're doing the exercises right, and they can recommend the exact right exercises for you, your goals, and where you're at to start. Again, with confidence and starting out, maybe try and find a gym buddy. So if you can get someone that'll go with you, that'll kind of cut down the sort of intimidation factor a little bit, if you've got a friend there with you. Or try the classes. So even if you're by yourself, you can go into a class, there'll be like-minded people there. It's a place a lot of people start, and again, it'll give you some different ideas of exercises that you can do, and there's someone there to create your technique, so you shouldn't be doing anything that's going to cause you any injuries. And one thing I would recommend if you are a complete beginner is to make sure you start slowly. I see it so often when people go into the gym, they crack straight on, lift really heavy weights, they're committing themselves to 4 or 5 sessions a week, and it's just too much and they can't carry it on. So then they get fed up, they can't do it, and they stop going. So start slowly, maybe just do 2 or 3 sessions a week, short sessions, even if you just go in and walk on the treadmill just to get you used to going into the gym, get you into the habit, and then build up from there. So hopefully that helps the people that ask those questions, and hopefully you can get into the gym and start learning some exercises and loving exercise as well. So next up, I got asked whether I think diet or exercise is more important for weight loss. I would say you should be doing both, but if you can improve your diet, eat healthily, that is actually going to be slightly more beneficial in terms of actual weight loss. For me, diet is where you would focus, like I say, for weight loss. Weight training is great for body shape, building muscle, definition, obviously getting stronger, and cardio is great for your overall fitness and health. So it's kind of a mixture of all three, but if I was going to say something, diet is definitely slightly more important than exercise. You can't out-train a bad diet, as they like to say. So if you can get your diet spot on first, exercise will help, like I say, and speed the process up, and will also obviously make you feel better. You'll be healthier generally and fitness wise. I also got asked how many days a week I work out. So a few of the next kind of questions are more about me and my routine. So it tends to vary how many times I work out a week. I aim for between 3 and 5 sessions. So rather than sort of saying I have to do 5 sessions a week, feeling like I've missed them or whatever, I focus on a range. So on a particularly great week, if everything's going brilliant, I'd do 5 sessions. So I would usually train Monday, Tuesday, have rest day on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and do something over the weekend as well, so a Saturday morning workout probably. Sometimes obviously things conspire against me, the weekends are too busy, sort of I don't get a chance to get to the gym, so then it's kind of 4 days. So again, the Monday, Tuesday, miss Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And on particularly busy weeks, I only manage 3. So I'll vary my training depending on how many sessions I've got in the week. I tend to aim to run a couple of times, weight train a couple of times, and then I do yoga as well. So they're kind of the ways that I work out. And I would try and aim for sort of 4 as standard, but I don't beat myself up if I only manage 3, and on a good week if I manage 5, brilliant. So next up, I got asked, following on from that question really, what spurs me on to keep going with my gym routine. Honestly, it's how it makes me feel. When I don't exercise, I can feel really lethargic, my clothes don't fit as well, I just don't feel as good in myself. So it's more to do with how I feel than necessarily the aesthetics for me. It makes me feel better, as I say. If I'm not training, I don't have as much energy, I don't feel like I look as good in my clothes, and things like that really. It's great being able to see results in the gym as well if you are lifting slightly heavier, if you get to add weight on your bar. So that definitely keeps me motivated week on week. But I know that if I don't work out, that I don't feel as good. So that's the main thing that keeps me going. Once you get into a habit, it does become a lifestyle, becomes something that you want to do and you want to keep doing. And I think once it does become that, stopping is actually harder than keeping going. So next up, a question I get asked quite a lot in the gym and from a lot of people. It's probably when you tell people you're a personal trainer, it's one of the first questions that comes up. How can I get rid of my stubborn stomach fat? Or how can I tone my tummy? Honestly, as I'm sure you've heard 1,000,001 times, you can't spot reduce fat. So no specific exercises will reduce fat in that area or tone your tummy. So the biggest thing to do is make sure you're exercising the big muscle groups. It's generally kind of weight loss, making sure fat loss, making sure that you're eating well, and doing a range of kind of weight training. So again, it's a bit of everything. So it's diet, cardio and weight training, and that will see an overall reduction. For us women, unfortunately, it is one of the areas that we lose fat in last, so it can be a little bit more difficult. In terms of tummy exercises specifically, I don't tend to do much ab work myself. I focus mainly on my core, so that's things like planks. I use the TRX quite a lot, and I focus more on that sort of area than actually doing any kind of sit-ups or anything like that. So core exercises are a great one, but generally for reducing tummy fat, it's all round, so no one exercise will really do it. It's doing a bit of everything, making sure you're working the big muscle groups, so squats, lunges, rows, press ups, chest press, those kind of things, and then add some core work in as well. Next up, I got asked what my favourite workout wear is. I have a few favourites actually. My current favourite for leggings is probably Sweaty Betty. You've probably seen a few of the leggings that I've worn over on my social media, and they're in my YouTube videos as well. They're definitely my favourite. They fit really well. They're great material. It is quite expensive, but it's definitely worth the money. I also love Zazie, which again you may have seen. I've done some work with Deb from Zazie. She's based in Manchester, so it's local to me, and again her gym wear is so stylish. The tops have got great back detail on them, so they look fabulous. So if you're wanting some really stylish looking gym wear, Zazie's a really good place to go. And then for budget gym wear, I love just shopping in the kind of high street, so H&M, New Look, even Primark has some great workout kit in there as well. A bit of a fun one, I got asked what my biggest gym pet peeve is. Having worked in a gym and worked on the gym floor, it's definitely people leaving weights out and mess in the gym. Having had to tidy them up and lift sort of 36 kilo dumbbells away, that's definitely the worst thing. It just makes it a mess. You don't know whether people are using equipment, especially as a personal trainer that works in a gym. If you want to use stuff and it's all kind of about, you're trying to find certain dumbbells and there's one somewhere and they're lying around the gym, it definitely makes it difficult to find equipment, and it's just messy. You can't find space to train in, so that's definitely my biggest pet peeve, people that leave weights out in the gym. Doesn't take, if you can lift them in your training, you can lift them to put away. So the final question I got asked is, what do you do when you're stuck in a rut with your fitness? Where do you turn for inspiration? So one of the biggest things I do is look at other kind of fitness bloggers and people in the fitness industry. Carly Rowena is probably one of my favourites, so check out her YouTube videos for different workouts to try. It just gives you something, sort of mixing it up, gives you something different to do. So that would probably be one of my biggest recommendations if you are stuck in a rut. Sometimes as well, taking a break helps. So I do schedule regular kind of rest weeks where I'd stop doing some weight training and maybe focus more on a little bit of yoga, or just walking a little bit more, or focusing on running. That can then sort of inspire you and re-motivate you to keep going with your training. So that's it for today's Q&A. That's all the questions I got sent in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and click like. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you've got any comments or anything else that you'd like me to film, let me know. And that's all for now.